So, you're interested in taking GCSE Religious Studies. I can't say I blame you. Out of all the GCSE subjects you could possibly take, this is potentially the most interesting. My name is Mr. Walker. I will be one of the people delivering GCSE Religious Studies over the next 2 years, and I hope that you will be one of the people that I will be delivering it to. Unlike most GCSEs, we look at people in the world today. We're not interested in what's going on in history. We want to know how it is to be alive now, living in a global society. You go up the road to Coventry and there are over 200 different nationalities, over 100 different languages spoken, all these different cultures coming together with different beliefs, different ways of living, different ways of thinking. And if you know how to study people and how to make sense of what they're doing so that you can fit yourself into that world, you are at a massive advantage compared to everybody else. GCSE Religious Studies will give you the tools to be able to analyse people who are different to you and what happens in your household, and to help you make sense of the way that other people see the world in different ways. It's about positionality, about making sense of who you are and who other people are, so that you can compare and contrast. You'll do an awful lot of looking at your own opinions, deciding what you think is right and wrong on certain moral issues, and comparing your views to the views of a number of other people, some religious, some not. 50% of the course is based on a study of religious people. We look at Christianity, including Christian beliefs and Christian practices, what Christians believe and what Christians do. And you'll learn that they do not agree. There are many different types of Christians, and they all argue, disagree, have different views and ways of approaching the same problem. We look at these, and then we look at Islam in the same way as the second biggest religion in the world, and what it means to be a Muslim in the world today. And we look at the different types of Islam, Sunni Islam, Shia Islam, and various other types. And we compare and contrast. What are the similarities with Christianity? What are the differences? This accounts for half of the exam. The other half of the exam is looking at moral issues and ethical debates. As you can see from the slide here, we look at least 4, ideally 8 different areas of moral and ethical significance. We'll look at relationships and families. What do religious perspectives and social perspectives say about things like getting married, sexual relationships and ulterior sexuality and alternative sexual relationships, homosexuality, for example, adoption, abortion, euthanasia, medical ethics. When is it right to end a life? Is it right to end a life during warfare? Is it right to end a life if somebody is terminally ill? Should there be a death penalty? Should we allow corporal punishment? How should we deal with criminals? If 95% of people in prison can't read and write, should they be educated rather than locked in a prison cell? We'll answer a huge amount of ethical questions. Actually, that's a bit of a fib. We don't answer them at all. We'll pose them, and you will decide what the right answer is by comparing your view to the views of other people. We will give you the toolkit to look at the news and the media and the world around you and to analyze what's going on, to make sense of how people think and why people act in certain ways. And once you understand that, you fit better into the society around you. When you go to college, when you go to university, when you apply for a job, and they say to you, we employ people from all over the world. We employ people from different beliefs and cultures. How do I know that you can fit in? And how do I know you can get along with people? You can turn around and say, I've studied different cultures. I know how to look at other people and compare and contrast. I've learned tolerance and acceptance of diversity because I studied GCSE Religious Studies. That guy, he did food tech. Completely different set of criteria. GCSE RS is an academic GCSE. It is recognised by every university in the country, including Oxford and Cambridge, as having worth the same CAT points as maths, English and science. It is an academic GCSE. It's 100% written. We have 2 exams of 90 minutes each, 1.5 hours, and each paper is worth exactly 50% of the marks. There's a lot of writing in GCSE RS, and if that's something you don't enjoy, then please bear that in mind. We will teach you how to do it. We'll teach you how to scaffold your answers and how to build up towards those questions. And we'll practice together until you're getting it right every time. But it will involve a fair amount of writing. If that's something you actively don't want to do, then please bear that in mind with GCSE Religious Studies. However, we also do an awful lot of debating, arguing and exploring moral issues. We're the only subject where you can turn on the television and our subject matter is there. If there's a war, that's RS. If there's a volcano exploded and people need help, that's RS. Who do we help first? Who deserves the help? Should everybody be helped equally? If it's a political issue, such as what's happening with the Prime Minister at the moment, that becomes an ethical dilemma. That's something we would discuss in religious studies. We have a finger in every pie, and we will give you the capacity to hold an argument in any field whatsoever. Again, really important skills for when you're on interview or for when you are looking to be appointed at a university position. I'm trying to give you an absolute snapshot here, but basically it's a subject for people that are interested in working with other people. Anyone that wants to work in the field of medicine, business, law, finance, education, the emergency services, this is almost a prerequisite qualification. You need to be able to show you can get on with others. This will show that for you. So, I hope it's something that's interesting. I hope it makes you want to find out a little bit more. And I hope that you will come and talk to me on GCSE Option evening on the 20th with any questions that you have. I will wax lyrical about how fantastic it is and hopefully sway you along on a wave of enthusiasm. Thank you very much for listening to this. It's a bit of a stream of consciousness, but I hope it's been vaguely interesting. And I look forward to talking to you about it in person. Take care.